Thank you, Jim, for attending our interview with Libero today. Um, would you like to tell us about how you felt when Burnley beat Blackburn last weekend 2-1?
At the end of the day, I didn't realise what a result meant for the town. It picked them up tremendously. Everybody who lives here, I mean, it's just a liverpool. It makes you wonder, it's only a football match, but what it does for the people around here is fantastic. It was a good win, great win. Never played well, but they played better in Blackburn, put it that way. So they won 2-1.
You told us exclusively that you played for Burnley last time they won 35 years ago.
Yeah.
How was the difference between the fans there, or has it always been that sort of rivalry since?
Yeah, exactly the same. So right, I mean, you look at your Rangers and Celtic, your Chelsea and Arsenal, Tottenham and Arsenal, all the London derbies. But you look at the Blackburn and Burnley, I'd probably say it's as close as you'll ever get to Rangers and Celtic. It's not just rivalry, it's the bitterness about it is unbelievable. I mean, they're so jealous of each other. And coming back to that 1979 or so, 35 years since we beat them, I don't think anybody's got the record that we've got. When was the last time Celtic ever beat Burnley? Will they ever beat us again? Because we beat them 30 years ago. So we hold the record. I said it's only because we don't play them. I said Blackburn are up in the higher division, we were down below, we went up to the high, they were down the low. Obviously at that time, it's just that they keep using this 1979, which is a load of rubbish. So yeah.
So when you see in the team now with Sam Vokes, Danny Ings and the players in your day,
Yeah.
would you say the team is better now from what it is, even though they haven't won a few things where you won a few things in your career, or would you say the team then is a lot better than what it is now?
Good question. I've been asked this so many times that me personally, I said that the team today is better than the team we had because everything's changed. The tactics have changed, the eating habits, the training side. I put it down, got shut down with the other ex-players who were actually in the team when I played. I says, gave me such a rollicking, it was untrue. They says no. And the way they took it, they put it man for man. So I mean, the way they said, who was the best goalkeeper, Heaton or Stevenson? And I said no. I said I'd probably say Stevenson was better. So then it came to the left back, Keith Newton, or me. And I thought, no, Keith Newton, he was an England international, and that was the way we were going through the team. I said, then when it came to Paul Fletcher against Volks, both identical type of players, and I had to say Paul Fletcher. So by the time I finished, even though I said this team today is better than the team that we played, I played them. When I went through man for man, our team were better than theirs. So how do you got that one up? But I did. I think the tactics and the eating habits and everything has changed the game. And I still stand by what I said. The team today is better than what our team were at that time.
You still attend the games at Turf Moor on a regular basis, and you say that you do the tours as well for whenever you can. You know the Turf Moor stadium, would you say that being, if say Burnley moved to a new stadium, if they got the money from Premier League or anything, do you reckon the fans would be happy with that, or do you reckon they would be quite annoyed that they would have to move?
Yeah, I think they'd be a bit annoyed to move. I mean, they have got the facilities where they can actually rebuild where they are. It nearly went through a couple of years back, when they were getting involved with the cricket club and everything, but due to this recession, it just collapsed. It's done a lot of clubs, but I'd probably say that Burnley would build where they are. I think the police are happy with it, and getting supporters in and out without any trouble, and it's a local side. It's not far from the town centre, which is good for the supporters. So I would probably say they'd leave it as it is, but change it, rebuild it or something. Yeah.
As we know that Burnley are on the verge of promotion to the Premier League, they say in the record between Burnley and Blackburn it's 35 years, but you never actually played each other every year, so everyone was they were talking about it like it was every year that you played.
Yeah.
Would you actually say that with Burnley actually going up to the Prem, do you reckon there could be another 35 years between Burnley and Blackburn, or do you reckon Blackburn will actually come up eventually?
It's hard to say. I mean, you've got to look at the financial aspects of every club. I mean, Blackburn at the moment, the manager at the moment is cut back. I mean, he's done a good job up to that because he's had to get the wage bill away. I still would say that Blackburn are in a spot of problem financial wise. Burnley, I've never known a club to run the way it has. The directors have got to take a lot of thing out of this. They're fantastic. I mean, half the clubs that I've spoken to, people who are involved in other clubs, they keep admiring what Burnley's done. And you have to put your hand up. The directors have worked a miracle there. But in the other aspect, it's only because of the good managers. Because you can't keep running on a shoestring the way you're done. So the manager now, he's an absolute wizard to what he's done. And it's great for his CV. I can't see the club hanging on to him, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Because how he's done this, he'll go to another club. So, but the club itself, Burnley, I mean, I think it's a fantastic achievement to do with such a low capacity thing of crowds. An average of 100,000 lives in the town. If you get a tenth, or what they always say, a tenth, you get 10,000. So how do you run a club when it gets like that? They've done fabulous.
Okay, and then next question. With, like you were saying about the financial, Burnley have done wonderful with the financial basis. Like when they went up to the Prem last time, they had like players like, and was it like Jay Rodriguez and stuff like that, and they had to sell the players when they went down and stuff. Do you think when the promotion up here, they can either stay up for next season after they be in the Prem for after 1 year, and do you think they have to sell any more star players to keep them up?
I mean, obviously, in an ideal world, you would expect them to sign players to bring them in if they do get promoted and get them up. But unfortunately, I said the finance takes away. What supporters tend to forget, if Burnley do get promoted and you start buying big players, you get yourself into trouble. I mean, Bolton at the moment has got financial nightmare. I think it's 176 million in debt at the moment. Burnley don't want to do that because what does the town want? Do they want a team that's going to be here for the next 20, 30 years? Or do they want a team that's going to disappear within the next 4 or 5 years because they won't have the finance to keep running? So you've got to work it on a happy medium. Burnley at the moment, how they've done this is just a miracle. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I know they've been fortunate, they've had a couple of good players, they've managed to transfer and get money in. And you look at next season now, so if they get this payment off the television side that comes from Football League, it's a big, massive bonus. And then if they do, and I say this with hesitant, if they do sell a couple of players, which I think they may happen, there's another 10 million going to come back in as well. But it's up to the manager to get the right players coming in at the right price and hoping that the way he's done it now. I mean, Burnley's a fantastic team and he's built it on nothing. And I think that is great. But financial side, it's a total nightmare for Burnley at the moment to try and grab what they've got.
And the final question, before we watch Liverpool Man U in the big game, if you had to pick from your playing days and from what you've seen in the past few years since you've retired between Burnley and Blackburn, if you had to pick an 11 between the two clubs, who would you say would be then your starting 11 between Burnley and Blackburn if they formed together in your playing days or to now?
If I had to pick Blackburn players as well?
Yeah,
well, I wouldn't pick Don because I don't like him. It's hard to say. Yeah. I would have to put Rhodes in because he's a goal scorer. I mean, he really is an out-and-out goal scorer. But to get Rhodes and to get him working properly, you're going to have another lad where maybe he's good in there where he holds the ball, which is going to come back to Volks to play alongside him. But I'm not saying that he's a better player than Ings up front, but Rhodes, both of them are very similar, and there's no reason why you can't play the both of them. But play a big hit man, but play these two of them. That means that the midfield side has got to be. The midfield side, I thought we actually had the best midfield that anyone could ever had, and I probably said Martin Dobson, Jeff Nolte. I'm trying to think, and I dropped Frank Casper back a little bit, because I put Ings in that up front. I'd bring him into the middle of the park. And then your fullbacks, well, Keith Newton was something special. He was a brilliant player. And then I suppose I picked myself in Cole Waldron to be at the back, because I wouldn't put Blackburn in. And then the right back, believe it or not, Mick Doherty before he got injured. he was unbelievable. Before he got his ligaments all torn to shreds, his knee, he was a fantastic player.
Would Trippier actually get in the side from what he is now? Because he's been rated one of the best right backs in the actual league.
Well,
so.
yeah, he is. The only thing I'm a little bit suspect with Trippier is just his defensive side. He's a fantastic going forward, and he gives balls, he delivers balls at that penalty, like, fabulous. But on the defensive side a little bit, he tends to, I don't know, he gets caught out sometimes. Mick Dock was more defensive rather than go forward, even though he did go forward at times, but Mick Dock would be a more defensive right back. And that's the end of the day, that's what he's there for, to stop the other team playing. Not for you to keep bombing up the field all the time to get goals, but I would probably say 3 Blackburn players and the other 8 would be Burnley. I know I'm biased. Very.
And would you say, like, manager? Would you say, like Harry Potts, maybe the manager in your charge, or even Sean Dyche?
The manager, and believe it or not, I didn't like him when I played because he kept picking on me all the time, just me. Now I've been told the reason why he was picking on me, it's all psychology, because he was trying to get the best out of me. But Jimmy Adamson would be the manager. He was so far in front of all the rest of the managers, and that was why he was asked to take the managership of England when they were in Chile, the World Cup, and he turned it down. Now, he was only young then. But to get an honour like that, fabulous, absolutely fabulous, when he was so young. Ended up Walter Winterborn had the job. So you can imagine what the FA and the Football League got to Jimmy Adamson there. And he was the one that got Burnley up with no finance whatsoever. So,
Thank you, Jim. Thank you for attending the interview. Thank you very much. Thank you.